can't go.
Yes, you can.
Because that's not Donald Duck.
You understand how much time I thought about this? How much thought I had to put? I had to come up with a scenario where you're doing Donald Duck, but Donald Duck's not talking.
I can't do it because
I had to come up with the cocaine thing just so that I could do the exasperated lip flopping.
You can go, ooh, 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 ooh. What's that? That's Mickey Mouse having an orgasm.
You know what?
That's not an
impression. It got a killer laugh, I'll tell you what.
All
right, that was better.
See? If I'm warmed up, I can do whole conversations as Donald Duck.
I doubt that.
I win. I fucking win.
I'll give you the better impression. But my premise is funnier. Maybe, what are we doing here? The fuck are we doing? I do two more.
All right, two more.
One of them hurts my throat.
Okay.
I'm going to do that one first.
All
Get it out of the way. We ain't got no coffee or water in here?
I have water, but you're not drinking from my bottle.
What do I want to say, though?
Okay.
That's the hard thing. I never did this one
All right.
in any sort of forum. I do it for the baby.
Okay.
My daughter.
Not really an audience.
Hey, Horsey, you want to count with me? 1, 2, 3. I'm Elmo.
I can't look at you because your face gets all distorted.
Really weird.
And your neck looks
hurts.
And your neck looks like a velociraptor when you're doing. No, stop it. I can't. No, I'm not looking at that because that's really. I didn't want to see that at all.
There was years ago.
Why do you have to do your? Why does it hurt so much?
I don't know because the way.
Why can't you just
do my neck? And I didn't even do that one good. But I have a funny story about that.
Elmo.
This is how terrible the fucking life I've led to make money. There is this comedy website that radio stations use that my radio station uses or really doesn't use. It's just there.
Right.
It's called a prep site.
Right.
And they crank out one shit comedy piece after another.
Right.
And I got to wondering, where do they come up with that? Is there, at their corporate office, 5 guys who aren't funny doing impressions, making up these bits? And it turns out you can submit bits to them as a radio personality, and they will pay you all of $100 if they like it.
Wow.
So there was some, I forget what controversy, Elmo controversy years ago. And
well, the guy that does Elmo's voice was brought up on some, was it child pornography or something like that?
It might have been that.
Yeah.
So I started writing funny premises with Elmo in relation to that story, and I could do the voice, so I did the voice, and I produce it and send it off to them. So like the first 4 they bought, and I'm like, this is great. I made $400. I worked for a couple of hours,
nice.
in the studio, and then they stopped buying them. And then, because I guess the story fizzled.
Right.
And then when it came up again, they emailed me like, can you do more Elmo? And I'm like, I got to be honest, I'm not into it anymore, man.
Wow.
So then they found a lesser Elmo guy to do my shit, my whole bit.
Wow. So I bet you're praying every day that the guy that does Donald Duck's voice gets caught doing cocaine.
Well, yeah. Well, that's all I got.
That's another $100.
They'll call me
right in your pocket.
That's like I felt like Gilbert when he got fired from Aflac, and they hired some accountant out of nowhere to go blah, blah.
and is nowhere near as good.
Right.
The new
Affleck,
he's
terrible.
He's terrible because you're expecting to hear Gilbert,
right?
And you're not. Instead, you're hearing Shlomo doing Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my story about Elmo here is terrible.
Well, your Elmo sucks too. I got to be honest with you.
I didn't nail it.
No, it's a terrible. I would take the Donald Duck doing cocaine.
All right, I gotta kill. All right, here's my closer. Here's my killer impression.
All right.
All right. You're gonna know it. You're gonna know it right away. All right. Now stop it. That was supposed to be all right, right?
Yeah.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
And then you got the cat with emphysema. The Inspector Gadget bad guy.
Oh, I thought that was Macho Man Randy Savage. I got to be honest with you.
No, all you got to do with that one is say snap into a Slim Jim while you're taking a shit after being constipated.
You put so much physical effort that I not only am I not listening to the impression, I'm concerned for your safety.
I know.
As I'm watching it.
I know.
If you were to do either of those impressions on stage, the audience would be dialing 911 because they would be so afraid that you're hurting yourself.
I think, but it's so stupid to build. I feel bad for the impressionists. Well, don't you feel like they just sit around waiting for things to
I know a
hit
couple of
the characters?
impressionists, And they do it with an ease and a comfortableness. No, but you,
unlike the seizure that I'm having.
But you, honestly, it looks like you're having cardiac arrest.
I'll get you.
No, and you're wearing this V-neck T-shirt, so I'm seeing everything. No, I can't watch it. It's very disconcerting.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
All right, buddy.
What's the next story we're doing?
You have it. It's about a guy who got chased by the police, and he gave a very interesting reason as to why the police chase happened.
It's a very good story. It was a driver was pulled over in Des Moines, Iowa, after a police pursuit, and he told the troopers that he was being chased because to be in a high-speed chase was on his bucket list.
Nice.
He refused to pull over a little before 7:30 a.m. on a Thursday when the troopers tried to stop him for a violation on Interstate 80. Oh, wow. I love Interstate 80. You know, it goes all the way across country.
Did not know that.
It goes from New Jersey, well, New York, actually, all the way to California.
Cool.
Through Reno, Nevada.
Party time.
Yeah. So anyway, the chase ended when the 46-year-old driver exited I-80 after 10 minutes. He was taken into custody. And his only excuse was, I'd always wanted to be in a high-speed chase.
Bucket list item.
Yeah, because that's on his bucket list. Now, whether he's actually dying or whether he's just... Because the idea of a bucket list is that you don't have much time left. And so you want to do all the things that you've always wanted to do before you die.
Yeah, well, if anybody actually does a bucket list, it's usually they try and check them off at the end.
Right.
But the approach you should take is to do them when you can enjoy it, right? What do you think?
I agree. So then when you're on your deathbed, you can say, wow, that was a great time. The time that the police chased me on Interstate 80.
This is a bad example. This is the one he should have done last when he's terminal.
Right.
That's the one.
Because now he may end up doing jail time.
Right. This is the zero fucks given one. You got to do it right. That's the last one that you check off.
And ideally, maybe it ends in a fiery crash.
Right. Like mine, I can relate to this guy. I have a bank heist on mine.
You want to do a bank heist?
Yeah.
That would be on your bucket list.
Yeah.
How would you do it? Have you already thought it out? Do you have plans?
Have you seen Heat?
I have seen it, and I got to be honest.
That plan is the plan.
But
that's the plan.
Okay, but it doesn't end well for them.
Well, because that guy got all crazy and started shooting people for no reason.
Right.
Remember that guy?
I remember that guy, and then it ends up with
yes.
And then it ends up with them walking down the street in a gun battle, and they end up getting shot to hell.
They hired the wrong guy. They hired the last minute replacement.
Oh, so you think you could do the bank heist better than them?
Yeah, because remember how that played out.
Right.
They had a team. Everybody trusted everybody. They worked good together.
Right.
And they got the perfect heist. And at the last minute, one of their buddies says, "I'm out of the game, bro," or whatever he said. And then somebody vouched for this guy. Which, like, has anybody vouching for anybody in a movie ever actually played out well? No. Anytime you hear, I vouch for this guy, one of those two guys are dead.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, yeah. So they vouch for this ass face, and he just wants to shoot people. He shoots people, everything goes bad. But I'm not going to do that.
What about Reservoir Dogs? Again, they had the perfect heist. And again,
not great.
All shot to hell.
Right. Yeah. But that's part of...
Aren't you learning crime does not pay?
But it doesn't have to pay. This is like I'm at the end here.
So you're what, days away, hours away?
Days
away from dropping dead.
Right.
All right.
But my team, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that.
What disease do you have? What do you have?
Ebola.
Ebola. Okay.
I had to find the only disease that nobody listening has, as not to offend. In the new world that we live in,
right,
where everybody lives in a fucking safe bubble.
Because if you had said any other disease, people would have called us or written us and said, but I guarantee that someone is going to saying, my aunt just came back from South Africa.
Ebola.
And she has Ebola.
Yeah.
She was working in a ministry down in South Africa.
My go-to for a while was West Nile virus.
But that's here now.
But now, that fizzled, don't you feel like
No, I think someone I know just knew someone that just passed away from West Nile virus.
But that's what I mean. I don't even know what's going on with West Nile, so I can't just throw that out there.
She was a really old lady from what I understand, and a mosquito bit her, and she got West Nile virus.
Why did you laugh? You
I didn't laugh.
Prick.
No,
you insensitive son of a bitch.
Here's why I'm laughing. Not because of what happened, but because you can pick any fucking disease.
And somebody gets
in this
mad.
day and
That's
age,
my point,
people know someone who has that disease.
Right.
Listen, you could have said rickets. And people would have said, my uncle was a sailor.
Yeah. Or sometimes people lean in like, that's really unpleasant.
Yeah.
You wouldn't make jokes about it.
When I was in 10th grade, I had rickets.
Right.
Really, really.
Yeah, you can't even like. Then the go-to used to be STDs.
Yeah.
Now everybody has
everyone
so
to the point where
it's not funny anymore.
No,
you could feel the room get real uncomfortable if you're doing that on stage
because you're doing a
and
benefit.
you do an STD 5 minutes on STDs, and everybody's like, "I just had an outbreak. It's real funny."
Yeah,
so.
great. Weren't you looking at my lip? Like, what do you think that is? What do you think that is right there? So that's your bucket list, is to rob a bank.
Yeah.
All right. I don't see it going well. No. Ebola or not? Because you're going to be all feverish.
Yeah, my skin will be eating itself.
No, I don't think that's
Plus,
what happens.
if I'm really at the end,
Uh-huh.
likely my team, the guys I trust, maybe some have passed on. Then I need a last-minute replacement who just wants to shoot people.
Right, but I'll vouch for him.
Here's number 4.
This Jeopardy guy, Austin Rogers was his name.
By the way, before you go any further, do you know that there's like this whole underground cult that does nothing but watch Jeopardy every night? People are obsessed with this game show.
So let's start with Jeopardy then.
Okay.
I'll start there. I love where your head's at.
Right.
Okay. I like Jeopardy.
I do too.
I don't love Jeopardy.
I don't watch Jeopardy in the summertime because the Yankees game starts at 7.
Okay.
And that's when Jeopardy is on.
All right, cool.
So Jeopardy is purely a winter watching thing. You only watch it in the wintertime.
Fair enough what you just said. Fair.
So we like it, but we don't love it.
Here's how I would love it.
Okay.
Final Jeopardy is A, impossible. B, it's stupid that it's one question. You don't feel like you can participate.
Right.
I feel like it should be more of Double Jeopardy. Like just another round of Double Jeopardy, which you call Triple Jeopardy.
Right.
Or Final Jeopardy. Still, you call it that, but it's still more awesome and mass appeal.
No, I like Final Jeopardy because it sounds like the game is ending.
No.
And I'm a gambler. I like the idea of it all coming down to one answer.
No.
I like that.
No, you're wrong. And I have 2 more things. You could make Jeopardy a full hour and it would be more entertaining. More questions. I want more questions. I want more time to play along.
How many? No, the idea is that it's quick. You got to have the answers at the tip of your tongue.
Disagree. So in a given half hour, I get a lot of questions right, but I feel like I want to feel more good about myself by getting more questions right, and you could do that in a full hour.
What is you're wrong?
The other part of the plan is to not just replace Alex Trebek, but to do it in such a way that the new host of the show comes out and beats him with a baseball bat. Not until he's dead.
Right.
But he's most certainly not coming back anytime soon. I hate him so much that that's how
What's
I'd like
to hate?
see
He just
him,
reads the questions.
because he does it in the most condescending, douchey way, as if he knew the answer, which he does
because it's right there in front of him.
Right. But don't you understand like that?
He doesn't bother me.
Why?
He doesn't bother me.
He bothers me.
I think if I was the host of that show and I would be very good at it,
Of course.
I think I would
You're
be
a
the
great
same
host.
way. I think I would be slightly condescending as well. Because how dare these people come in into my studio in front of my questions and try to tell me what the right answer is.
The worst is when he corrects someone's pronunciation of like a French word.
Yeah, it's
or something.
menage a
It's
trois.
menage a
not
trois.
not menage a trois.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go. So where did you start on Jeopardy?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I think I could beat you in Jeopardy.
No, I don't think so.
I think I could. I think
No.
I think that we need to have a date night
whole episode.
where we watch Jeopardy and I beat you.
No, we have an independent third party put together a an entire Jeopardy competition for us and come on the podcast here.
I agree.
Full host.
I agree.
And we compete.
And I think I beat you.
lose.
I think I beat
lose.
you. I think I beat you
You
every
just lost.
time. I think I beat you 2 out of 3
You're
times.
a loser.
No, I think I just beat you. You know what? I beat you before we even fucking started doing this podcast. I was already a winner.
All right. Whatever, man.
Anyway.
So Austin Rogers was the new, and this happens all the
is
time.
this the guy that's the current champion?
He just lost.
Is he the guy with the beard from Connecticut? Is that
I think,
him?
yeah. I don't know if
Okay.
he's from Connecticut or New York.
Because I haven't watched it. As I said, it's summertime now,
Right.
you know, and it's the fall, and the Yankees are on every night at 7.
Well, whenever there's a current guy on a streak, he becomes a big deal. Who was the guy like 8 years ago, the nerd that was on, like broke the record?
Yeah.
Ken something?
Ken Jeopardy.
Yeah, and he was
changed his
even
name.
snarkier than Trebek. Like, he's like, guess what? I got a butt shit answers. I got all
But
these
he's
answers.
allowed to be
Yeah, why?
because